Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jages, I'm the Beard Master, and my co-host today, his power level is well over 9,000. Give it up for Jake Baylis!
It's great to be here, man. Thanks for having me back.
It's too much, mate. That faux leather jacket, it's gonna you're just gonna like burst out of it.
I remember you told me last time, when I was on, it kept crinkling in your ears.
You too. Like, you were getting into it and you were talking with your hands and shit, and all I could hear was like creaking and crinkling in my headphones. And
yeah,
that's good though.
So I thought to myself, what would annoy you more? And so I wore it again, because we're that good of friends.
That's a good look.
Thank you.
We just had this discussion in the car. We're not really friends.
No, it's all an act.
Yeah.
Just pretending, just
for ruse.
For likes. For all those likes that we give each other.
Isn't there a saying, like, a man who has many friends is something? So, that's a good pull, Jake Baylis.
Thank you. I've got 1 in a million.
And guess what we're talking about today, Jake? You probably have no idea.
No, I've just been completely brought in out of the blue for this, so enlighten me.
I literally just pulled the bag off your head.
Yeah, it's been a freaky night.
We're going to do that Dragon Ball Z episode we were talking about.
Yes!
You got really excited.
Dragon Ball Z.
We're going to do our top 5 favourite Dragon Ball Z moments, but we're also going to go into and talk about the show on that as well, so it's just going to be a Dragon Ball Z episode. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like Dragon Ball Z, then you can leave now. You have my permission.
GTFO, that old chestnut.
So what have you been up to, Jake? Tell me about your life.
Nothing much, same old. Been playing a lot of PlayStation, a bit of
I've seen
UFC.
you on there playing Mount and
Blade.
Mount and Blade.
Yep, I believe last time I was on, I was still playing it. I only just left my Sultan at the time when the last time we were recording.
A Sultan?
Yes, I had a Sultan.
You have a Sultan.
I had a Sultan. He was my leader, but then I took a town all by myself, took maybe 150 good men, took down a town of 500, asked for the town. What would you say? If you were the Sultan, you'd be like, of course, after such a hard effort, you deserve that town. And the Sultan goes, no, I think you have enough property, enough land at the moment, so I'm going to keep it for myself. And I went, oh, no, Sultan. That is not going to happen. I revolted, and I've slowly been taking over the land for myself.
This sounds pretty cool, this game. So you've got a Sultan, you don't have a king or a lord or an emperor or anything like that?
Well, I've now named myself the king of my own land. Yeah, once you revolt, you're like, I'm going to start my own faction. I'm Jiren...
King in the North!
I'm Jiren Greymouth of the Greymouth Nation, and we're slowly taking over their land of Caladria, which I believe it's called.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I think I want this game.
You do. It's only $23 on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, right.
But there might be another.
We're not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored at all. But if you want to sponsor us,
if you want to sponsor us, that'd be great.
We love free games. But there might be a new Mount and Blade coming out as well. Maybe it's been advertised for the last year or so. It's like, oh, it's going to come out next year. Oh, it's going to come out next year. It's kind of like Final Fantasy VII. It's constantly being pushed back, but yeah. Hopefully, eventually, once it does come out, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Even they announced, I think we announced Final Fantasy VII too early in development.
Yeah.
Now everybody's just like, when's it coming? When's it coming?
Yeah, I think I've been waiting for that as long as I have maybe Kingdom Hearts 3.
I do like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, God, that was a good game. That was the first game I had on...
I loved it.
Yeah, first one was the first game I bought on PlayStation. It came in a 2-pack.
Oh, wow.
I bought my PlayStation and get Kingdom Hearts and some other game. I was like, oh, this looks like fun. There's, there's Donald Duck and there's Goofy, Disney characters. Oh my God. How fantastic was that?
Yeah, it's a bloody good game. Mm. Yeah. I don't have the PS4 copy, but I really want it because I want to play the first one again. But I was looking in eBay in that the other day, and they've got the Kingdom Hearts 1.8 with 2 point something HD remix, refill, something like that. Yeah, it's got 14 games in the one thing.
Yeah, I don't care. Give me 3. Just so give me all these little
It's coming,
bits.
Man. It's coming.
That's what I always hear, but it never happens.
You've got other games before then. Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on horse testicles in the game?
Oh, here's something that might interest you. I've never actually played Red Dead, so I have no interest in Red
Heresy!
Dead 2. It's just one of those things. I was just like, oh, it's Grand Theft Auto in the West. Why don't I just play Grand Theft Auto? Because I can just steal a horse there, and so it never really interested me.
See, Jake, this is why we're not friends.
Yeah.
In air quotes,
because we have
a mutual friend.
Yes.
And I've just allowed you into my home on 3 separate occasions.
Yes. You still
And,
haven't given me a beer, though. I have to bring my own.
Fucking, what does this look like? We're a 2-bit operation around here.
Yeah, at least I expect is like a little bit of beer.
Yeah.
Well, next time, maybe.
When Russell first come and told me, he's like, I got this other guy, Jake, he's a mate of mine, he wants to come on the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, what are his credentials? And he's just like, he just really wants to come on. The first thing he said to me, he's like, I was talking to Jake and he was like, do you think you'd let me on the podcast? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all about letting other people on. Letting strangers into my home. I just keep letting strange people into my house. They know where I live.
Oh, you're so gracious, sir. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, sir, for
You're
letting me
welcome.
into your house.
Right down. Get down and lick these nuts.
Oh.
That was too much
Yeah.
for this G-rated show.
But thank you very much for bringing this actually box of nuts, though. They are quite tasty. So
we are not sponsored by
these.
any nut company incorporated whatsoever.
Yes. But again, if you want to sponsor us, you know, we
Sponsor us.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
well,
you. Us.
No, I'm part of this now.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm part of I can take like 10%.
You're a
10%.
Fucking hell, you're pushing a bit there, aren't you?
Hey, no, you gotta shoot big. We gotta have somewhere to negotiate. This is how you work around. This is business.
Your
business.
wiggle room's not very big there, mate.
That's what they all say.
I'm having a real fucking gaming crisis at the moment. I just can't get into anything. I can't settle on any game. I'm trying to play lots of different things, but I just can't fucking do it. So I'm going back and watching shows, catching up on seasons of shows I haven't seen for years. I've been catching up on Archer on Netflix. I'm like 3 or 4 seasons behind. I'm nearly caught up now. I've got like 3 or 4 episodes left. Just watching more TV than anything at the moment. Just nothing's, trademark Patrick Brown grabbing me.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, I've caught myself going back to like older games as well, like Heavy Rain. Yeah, I've been playing Mountain Blade. Obviously, came back out a few years ago. Worms Battleground.
I saw you playing Worms. Yeah,
yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing with a few mates as well. And also Final Fantasy VII. I feel like all those old games everyone wants to play, and no one's really putting into those like a lot of effort into like really. Making new games as interesting as old games used to be, unless, of course, they're like the big blockbusters. We're talking like the Red Deads and
AAA titles.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing just like that popping out. Though I want to play Final Fantasy X again. Saying on that,
yeah, the awkward laughing scene.
It's almost as bad as like the glitch in Heavy Rain, like at the end, where he's just shouting his kid's name. Jason!
Jason!
God,
that was awkward.
Jason!
You could just keep hitting X and Jason! Jason! That was so cringe.
Could you imagine being that voice actor just sitting there, just constantly? It's like, okay, we want you
Now
to...
we needed 100 different versions of Jason. Go. I think there was probably only like 5, maybe 6 different versions of Jason they used.
Yeah.
But they probably made him do it all day.
Yeah, and you can just hear the boredom in his voice at times. It's like,
Jason.
Oh, God.
Jason.
Oh, he's trapped and he's going to drown. Jason.
That was a good game. A lot of
fun. I liked Until Dawn as well.
Oh, man, that is such a fucking good game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that game.
Yeah, I was looking to get that for a mate of mine, Daniel, so he could give it a go as well. But, I got so intense into that game. As soon as I bought it, spent like the first 7-8 hours just playing the hell out of it. Lost 3 characters. And I was like, I've got to do it again.
I only lost 1. But I broke a horror movie rule, and that was my fault. I heard something, and I went off to investigate on my own.
Yeah.
Broke a horror movie rule, and I paid the price for it.
Rookie error.
Yeah.
Rookie error.
I was just like, what have I done? I've seen a billion horror movies. It's different when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, like, I had one character, until the very end. Can't remember her name. It's the blonde character.
Oh, Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, it's her.
The actress.
Right.
Hayden Panettiere.
She's just in it. There's a bit right at the end, you gotta keep the controller completely still.
I just sat it on the coffee table and was like...
You see, I just slightly move because I'm just a shaky person. I'm always on drinking energy drinks and stuff, and I just lost it. I was like, no! I've never screamed at the TV maybe louder in my life. Just like, no! You were so beautiful! What happened? We could have been together! No, she's... No,
she's a digital character based on an actual actress,
Yeah, but one can dream.
Yeah. Apparently there's a trailer out today, the same studio who did Until Dawn. They've just released, they're going to release another choose your own adventure horror style game, but this one's based on a boat. I can't remember what it's called. I was meant to watch the trailer this morning. That was awful of me. Failed miserably.
That's fine. That sounds like a cool thing on a boat. Like, same sort of... Like,
Until Dawn. On a boat!
Oh, I can't wait for
like
the third
that movie
one.
Ghost Ship, but less Mudvayne.
I just can't wait for like, oh no, more Mudvayne.
Less Mudvayne.
Dun dun rah, and then like he's just walking back onto the ship.
It was him all along.
That's like the best part of the movie.
That is actually the best part of the movie.
And that movie has some awesome. What about when everyone gets like sliced in half with the wires and
Oh,
stuff?
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Or when like the black...
bit where Carl Urban, aren't they eating baked beans, but they turn into what do they turn into? Maggots or something like that.
Yeah.
Straight out of the Lost Boys. You're eating worms, Michael.
And the guy's like looking up, trying to go up to like the hot chick and stuff, and he like goes to like hug her and stuff, and he just like falls like 20 feet and impales himself. Brutal movie. Thank you. Is that on Netflix?
I think it is actually. Yeah, I think it is. I got it out there on Blu-ray. Let's just fucking watch it now.
Oh, look at me and my Blu-ray. Ooh.
Fuck up, man.
Hey, mate, we're friends.
Pals. Acquaintances.
I've met you 3 times.
4. It's been more than that, Jake. Come on.
5.
Come on. There's that saying, whatever it is, a man who has many friends, insert the rest of saying here, is never poor or whatever it is very rich.
I'm
or
glad.
something like that.
A little paraphrasing there, but I'm glad that was...
Whatever, man. Do I look like a quotation book?
No.
I ain't. I can only quote film, not real life phrases and shit.
I can only quote the words that I've written in front of me, not the words in my mind.
Yeah, I haven't got much written down today, actually. I've actually, in the last probably week and a half, I've actually become a little bit of a study on... You'll probably find this funny and very off-topic, but I've become a bit of a study on the knockoff Transformer toy market. The whole knockoff Transformer toy scene.
All right.
I bought one, for my birthday. I decided to treat myself. Every year for my birthday, I buy myself one nice, expensive thing. And this year it was a knockoff Transformer. But I had to do all my research on that first, and this model is better than the actual Takara version, the official one. The paint's better, and it's got better molding and shit like that, and it's got some upgrades and that from the Takara version. That's okay. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
That's about
see the look on your face.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, Jake.
That's okay.
Did you bring a gift?
I bought you a beer.
Yeah, but I turned it down because I've been chewing gum, man, and I don't want to ruin the beautiful taste of Berg's Red.
I give you some hospitality, not even my house. Like, I'm not offered a beer, yet I offer you a beer.
I had to come and get you. I had to drive to the other side of town to pick you up and come back. Guess who's got to take you home when we're done?
Well, depending on how this podcast goes, I might be walking home.
Shut down.
Oh, sorry.
Or you'll be sleeping over if you play cards right.
I don't want to play that card game.
What?
I'm going to send you to the Shadow Realm.
Speaking of card games, I think we got you into Super Fight, didn't we?
You did, and thank you very much. It is a lot of fun. Me and my mates have been playing that, and it's resulted in a few arguments. Mainly is
absurd arguments.
Yeah, absurd arguments. Mainly is a plane a vehicle, which was but what is
actually
what is a vehicle?
That's a good argument, actually. Yeah, what is a vehicle?
Yes, which just basically involved me and my friends just shouting at each other till I just went, Google it, just Google is a plane a vehicle, and apparently it is, because it's like anything that's considered a mode of transportation. So,
well, a bus is a vehicle. You wouldn't necessarily drive a bus, but technically that's a vehicle. But it's the same principle as riding in a plane, except one's in the air and one's on the ground. It
could summon a rocket ship, and that's a vehicle as well.
Yeah, there's a rocket ship's a vehicle.
Yeah, because there's a car can summon any mode of transportation or vehicle. I'm just like, oh. Wow.
Someone's like a plane. Yeah. You're like, hang on, it's
a fighter jet. I'm like, oh, come on, you can't just summon
a fighter jet would be a vehicle. Come on.
Yeah, but I consider vehicles everyday sort of thing. Like who has a jet plane?
Can you see how we're playing Super Fight here and we're not actually?
I can't wait.
Super Fight is actually really fun.
Who's your champion?
Pat is our current champion, our TBG Undisputed Super Fight champion.
Well, let me know. I was gonna do a big.
You were gonna do a Randy Savage then.
Yeah, but
failed miserably.
Yeah, let's just cut that.
You couldn't even do a bone saw. No, I'm not cutting it. I'm leaving it in.
God damn it! I wish we were friends. Then you'd cut that. But,
why can't we be friends? Oh no, I shouldn't sing that. I should cut that out because we'll get sued.
Aha! You cut that. I'll cut my stuff.
My pop filter's playing up. Just let me try and fix this fucking thing. Stay there. Thing. There we go. That'll do. Now, Jake Baylis. Yes, definitely. Super Fight Volume 3, I want to get you in for that. Patrick Brown will have to come back to defend his title. But I also thinking about doing another installment of movie pitches in the near future. And I want to get you in for that as well.
What's movie pitches?
Movie pitches is an episode we did. So to actually, get our creative juices flowing, everyone in the room has to come up with 2 films. So your first film is a low budget film, which you have $100,000, you have to come up with a film that you would shoot and stuff. And then you have a blockbuster film, which you have $100 million to spend on. So you have to come up with 2 films, a small, low-budget indie film and a blockbuster film. And, what it was about and the plot and, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can go into a bit more details on that if you want, kind of how you would shoot it and who you would cast and stuff. But, yeah, the first go-around we did was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of good movies.
I can already, just hear my pitch. It's going to be we're going to make a movie. It's going to have, a camera that's worth $500. I'm going to spend $50,000 on blow and just going to see what happens.
PCP.
Yeah. And then just give it to the studio. There's your movie. It's not going to be good, but...
I'd finance that movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone would. You and Johnny Depp, because he seems to be making bad decisions lately.
He's all about bad decisions lately.
Spends $30,000 on wine a month.
That's fucked.
Jesus, man. Do you drink it or do you just pour it on homeless people? It's you could never afford this. I was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
We're not even going to talk about Dragon Ball Z. We're just going to comment on everything else but Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we're just talking smack at the moment.
Let's talk about Dragon Ball Z, Jake.
Oh, I thought we weren't going to do that.
All right, we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
All right, you got me.
Don't fuck with me. Okay, so Dragon Ball Z, Jake. For anyone who doesn't know, what is Dragon Ball Z about?
Dragon Ball Z is all about a martial artist by the name of Goku and his adventures with his friends around the Earth, battling different villains that threaten the existence of the Earth and also Goku's friends, of course.
That was a really good fucking summary, actually.
Yeah,
and it's an anime.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and they turn into sort of superpowers, and it's
They
cool.
can fly. It's martial arts, and it's really cool.
Yeah, he used to have a tail. He used to, in Dragon Ball, back in the day.
We're going deep.
Can we talk about Dragon Ball, or are we just going to talk about Dragon Ball Z?
We can talk about Dragon Ball. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Z for a bit first.
All right.
What was your first introduction to DBZ, as they like to abbreviate it as?
Well, I used to watch it on the old All-Star.
Yes, very good. Me too.
So my first introduction was during the Saiyan saga. So I missed Raditz, unfortunately. So I came in just as Nappa, who was Vegeta, who would obviously go on to be a big character later on in the series, his henchman. He was fighting Piccolo and Krillin at the time. So I was just like, oh, this is cool. Big, tough, bald guy. Green, weird-looking character. Smaller-looking bald guy fighting each other. And big, small guy with a big hair with a tail. I'm like, this kind of seems like an interesting show I could watch. Didn't even meet the main character for 5-6 episodes. Because, Goku's dead and he's running all along Snake Way, I believe it is.
He was flying on the way back.
Oh yes, because he powered up. He ran all the way.
So you missed a bunch of episodes. You probably missed, probably near 20 episodes, wasn't it? Something like that before the Saiyans turn up? Actually, it probably wasn't that much.
Probably so much filler and stuff.
Probably about 10, 15 episodes, maybe.
Probably
tops.
Yeah. Yeah, but I came in a little bit late, still early in the series. Well, in Dragon Ball Z series anyway. Obviously, Dragon Ball has been going on for plus 10 years and 136, 137 episodes, I think.
That's a lot of episodes.
That's a lot.
I never really watched Dragon Ball. I watched it a little bit. But did you, obviously you probably would watch Dragon Ball after. Was that something that you sought out? Did you watch the entirety of DBZ and then go back to watch Dragon Ball? Or did you kind of just I need to consume all of what this thing is?
Well, I was lucky enough, because due to All-Star and stuff, Toonami was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, nice.
And they did this a thing where they have early Dragon Ball and also Dragon Ball Z as well. So I just film a lot of, tape a lot of it so I could rewatch sort of things. But it wasn't until after the Cell Saga that I tried to go out more onto the internet and try to find copies and movies as well of Dragon Ball Z, because it's such a weird sort of change up from the original Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, and then obviously later on to GT.
Yeah, it's a huge leap. It's a massive change.
Yeah, it's something we'll talk about later.
Yeah, recurring characters and that, but the dynamic of the show, there are two separate shows, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but yeah, it's just the change is huge. I was the same. So I caught up on All-Star. I said this the other week. I think we were talking about Dragon Ball Z last week. Pat just managed to bring it up like he always does. Yeah, same. Saw it on All-Star. I caught it right from the beginning. I think we saw some ads on Cartoon Network and that. And I'm like, my brother and I, because we were around the same age. He was 2 years older than me. And we shared a bedroom. So, we had a telly in our bedroom. And it came on and, it was something that caught our interest. So we got in there from the very beginning and we're watching it. And like Goku, versus Raditz and stuff with Piccolo there as well. And like, this show is insane and cool as well. Like, this guy flies in and they're gonna fight this other dude with big long hair. It says he's his brother. He's got a tail. And then they're fighting. And then he takes all his clothes off because he's wearing weighted clothes and it slows him down. Like, he wears that for training. Like, what is this? This is so cool. Because the only other anime that we'd really watched before then, pretty much from start to finish, was Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that's a massive head fuck of a show. Brilliant show.
I still don't get that show. Like, I've watched that again.
We'll do an Evangelion episode one day. That'll be a very short episode because we won't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll just scream, I don't get it. And then
Shinji!
Yes, she's passed out. Stop wanking.
Stop coming on her chest.
Yes, you weirdo. But yeah, Goku does make like a big epic entrance if you think about it. Like, comes in on the Nimbus as well. If you've never seen it,
and it always has the coolest sound effect. It's like putting along. It's like put. It doesn't sound like that at all, but it's like it sounds like an old timey motor car.
No, I can't do it as well.
I don't know what that sound was you're making, Jake, but it doesn't sound like that.
No, either way, like, we're not doing... Well, I'm not doing well on sound effects, but, like, Raditz appearing as well, that's, like, sets out a massive start. Who was your, sort of, like, favourite character in the DBZ era? Like...
In the entire thing?
Yeah, well... Like, you start from, like, who did you, like, immediately, like, gravitate towards? And then, like, who later on were you like, oh, no, I appreciate this person, like, a little bit more, or...
Well, I always, everybody likes Goku. Who doesn't? Like, everybody loves Goku.
Yeah, you have
to. But I always liked Piccolo.
Really?
Yeah. I really liked Piccolo. I liked the whole... I was thinking about it today in the last couple of days where, because leading up to this episode, and I was thinking about it, and... going back and watching old scenes from Dragon Ball Z, and obviously because I've seen the series over and over in the last, nearly 20 years, but like actually remembering back to when I first watch it, having never seen it, just watching the episode every day, and then, my brother buying the videotapes, which has got 3 episodes on it, and then we're gradually getting further, along, and watching this TV show unfold, like, before me, like, Piccolo seeing Gohan's potential after he burst out of the pod and he headbutts Raditz and cracks his armor, and that gives him the opening to defeat him. And then Piccolo just takes this kid, he's like, from his mother and everything, he's like, I'm going to take this kid for the 12 months until they turn up, and I'm going to train him to be a warrior and that. And he's just this little wimpy kid that just cries all the time. He's tiny, he's like a little kid. And he just leaves him out in the bush to fend for himself for like 60 days or whatever. And I just really, I really liked the idea because Piccolo was a bad guy in the previous series. And he and Goku reluctantly team up to defeat Raditz because, Piccolo's just like, I want to kill you, Goku, because I hate you so much because you're a shit bloke for reasons. And, Piccolo gradually, pretty much through Gohan and, being like a surrogate parent for a year, he gradually makes the change and becomes a hero.
It's weird, like, two things. Looking at, like, the series and stuff, I did gain, like, a lot of great appreciation of Piccolo after looking back at the DBZ, like, the Dragon Ball series, and then you get to see, like, his entire arc. But also, like, going at DBZ, his raising of Gohan is, like, provides definitely a lot of, like, entertaining scenes when he's going to fight the dinosaur. He's actually turns out to be, like, a better father and spends more time with Gohan than, like, Goku does.
Yeah, Goku's kind of a shit parent.
Yeah, he's like the worst.
Chi-Chi's just like, Goku, he needs an education. He needs to go to school. And Goku's like, nah. Goku, you need to get a job. He's just like, nah, I just want to train.
It's like a weird thing. Like, it's weird to, like, bring this up. But, like, later, this talking, like, Dragon Ball Super. So, blah, 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 future timelines. there's a character that's like talks all about love and like kisses, like wants to kiss like one of the characters, and Goku's like what are you doing? I've never like I don't even do that with Chi Chi, and like it's written there, and it's like, what do you mean you've never like? It's obviously it's the Japanese, so like anime translation.
Yeah.
There could be something lost in translation there, but like the thought that Goku's never kissed Chi Chi makes the entire like whole thing a little bit weird.
Yeah, they have 2 kids.
Yeah.
So
Well, Goku's not exactly the most loving and or smart guy, so he's probably just like, yeah, just you do whatever. I'll just lift weights while you're on top of me. So
he's probably just like lifting dumbbells while she's
doing sit-ups.
Yeah.
And also bringing up on your love for Piccolo, did you not forget the man destroyed the moon?
Yeah, he did. That was awesome when he did that.
Yeah, but look at the moon.
It's anime.
Yeah.
Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, but still, like that seems like
come on, Jake. 20 years ago, when you're watching a show, did you really go to the TV? That's gonna fuck up. What about the Earth's gravity? What about everything?
What about the
to
oceans?
do with the Earth? What about the oceans?
No, but I'm old now, and I'm cynical, and I look back at these things.
And you're looking back at a 25, nearly 30-year-old cartoon
that involves mostly shouting
and picking holes in it.
Yes.
Picking holes in the logic.
Because that's where I'm at in my life.
Jake Baylis presents honest trailer for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, he shout a lot, and where'd the moon go? Should have fucked up the world.
That's the funny thing about Dragon Ball Z, like, the voice cast, like Sean, I always get his name wrong, Schemmel?
Yeah, I think
Sean Schemmel. And, like, Chris Sabat and stuff. You know, obviously they do mainly the voices of Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
And I was watching, like, leading up to Dragon Ball Super and stuff, or the 2 films, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F. And, like,
films.
these guys are never going to be out of work when it comes to Dragon Ball and stuff, because, you know, they talk about it too. They're like, oh, we kind of thought we were done with, you know, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you know, after we did Dragon Ball Z Kai and we finished all that, we thought that was the end of it. But now we're back, and there's just so much shouting. And they're just like, yeah, they talk about like what's the best thing about it, what's the worst thing, and they're just like the shouting, because we have to shout so much. And you see that it always fascinates me, like watching like recording sessions and stuff. There's an extra on the Battle of Gods DVD where it's got Sean Schemmel, and I forget the other actor's name who plays Beerus. They're cutting back and forward and playing the footage from the movie and showing them recording their lines in that, like through the scene and that. And it's just really fucking interesting to watch, just like these guys and just how they do it. And
yeah, it's amazing to watch. Like Sean looks like he's about to like bust a blood vessel in his throat because he's just screaming like so much. And like that's probably not the first take of that. It's like maybe 5th, 6th and stuff. To be able to like do that over and over again, keep up that intensity, it'd be so hard for a film. But yeah, that series, like, if you look at like a lot of like the different animes that are out there, like One Piece and Naruto and such, and Dragon Ball Z definitely has the most of just like random power-ups and just sitting there waiting. Like beautiful like animation at times, but a lot of the time it is just sitting there and looking as yellow lightning and lights flash around some guy.
well, about that yellow lightning though.
You can't attack me while I'm yelling.
I'm powering up, and you're shocked, standing there watching while I'm powering up for 3 minutes. Oh yeah, before I left earlier, I watched the Goku's first transformation into Super Saiyan 3, where he's explaining his forms and that to like Majin Buu, buying his time, and then the transformation from Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3. What is it? It's probably like 3 or 4 minute transformation, and then going into his eye and there's like naked Goku, and he like turns into a baby and he's like flipping around and stuff, and
all these different like symbolism.
Yeah. And then the lengthening of the hair and the brow coming forward and losing the eyebrows and everything, and
that saga was whack though.
It was whack as fuck.
Yeah, like because apparently like Toriyama had a lot of creative issues during the Cell Saga and Androids.
Absolutely, yeah, I heard that too.
He was being told like a lot of stuff because originally Android 19 and 20, from what I hear, was supposed to be like the big sort of villains during that saga.
Yeah, for that saga, yeah.
But then some like the anime directors will look at it and goes, oh, an old man and a fat clown.
Tomiyashi, I think his name was, Tamashi or something like that. He was the lead animator or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, they're not interesting enough.
Yeah, and so then it goes and designs 17 and 18. And then, you know, threatening, but also they're just a bunch of teenagers as well. And then the next thing brings in Cell. Oh, he's too ugly. He doesn't look that scary or intimidating.
Yeah, his form's crap. So then he designs the second form. He's like, what are you doing? He looks like a moron.
Yeah, even worse. And then finally gets into, like...
the perfect form.
Yeah. So he had all those issues during all those sagas, but then once Majin Buu came along, they kind of went, oh, you know, you can do sort of... like, Toriyama didn't really care, knew the series was going to end, and sort of, like, does what he wanted.
Yeah.
But as good as, like, Toriyama is as well, it kind of leads to a lot of... like it seems to go long, that saga. There's a lot of drawn out moments.
It does too, especially like the New World Tournament, and then going to the spaceship with like Barbie and stuff. You've got Dabura, and then it leads into Majin Vegeta, and then
all
Majin
the
Buu
fusions as well. They got to teach Trunks and Goten how to
the
fuse,
fusion dance.
and then they got the Patara earrings as well. And then they got to bring Vegeta back, and then Goku's time runs out. And it's so much stuff. It's good, but it's
a very long saga.
Yeah.
And all the different forms of Majin Buu and that as well. And
I feel like this is one of the times where it would have been better, like to rein in Toriyama and go, no, like you don't need this sort of thing. Like if maybe if he was given more free range in like Cell and stuff, he would have been a little less.
But then you get to the ending with Kid Buu, and that just feels very short. They're like, righto, you've got to. That's it. Wrap it up. You've got 3 or 4 episodes. Wrap it up.
Yeah, and then we get Oob. Yay!
Oh, Oob! Yay!
We have like the coolest like evil character ever, and then like you'll come back and you're gonna.
I hope you come back someday
as a good guy. Yay! Wink. And then, like,
blows him up.
Yeah, 6 years later, and we get this bland babyface guy who's just like, you're not even like. At least Goku was plucky. You just seem like a little bitch at times. Just throwing it out there.
You're such a little bitch, Oob. Jesus,
such a little bitch. God, you're not even gonna be cool. Even in GT, when you fuse with Majin Buu, but we don't classify GT.
Oh wow, GT.
It's not canon.
No. Some of it was good, though. Anybody who doesn't know anything about Dragon Ball Z will have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But hopefully the
I said babyface, I'm pretty sure people are going to...
Well, babyface is a wrestling term for a good guy.
Yes, and heel is a term for bad guy.
There we go.
That's some learning.
You could just say good guy, bad guy.
Yeah, but I like to use the...
You gotta throw out that wrestling lingo, don't you?
I like to shoot from the hip, brother.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hit you with that pole smackage.
Paul Smackage.
Small package, brother.
Yes, I know Paul Smackage. Now, so
we're going to do... Sunset?
We're going to do our top 5 personal favourite moments from Dragon Ball Z. But I've got some other things too, which I'm going to save until afterwards. Just a couple of things I want to throw at you and get your opinion on.
All right.
So, Jake Baylis, I want to hear your 5th favourite Dragon Ball Z moment. What is it?
I'm going to go with, it's a bit later in the series, Vegeta's sacrifice against Majin Buu.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh, why didn't we do a spoiler alert at the start?
Nobody cares, Jake. Everybody's seen Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Everybody dies in the show at least twice and then come back, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true. Well, I just think that like that's a big moment, and also it's kind of like a really nice way to end Vegeta's arc, as you're introduced to him, he's this big cynical character. All he cares about himself. But then slowly over the years, like meeting future Trunks, his own son, his relationship with Bulma, Kakarot, all that, he slowly develops a love for the Earth. Obviously, he turns his back once he turns Majin Vegeta, but, you know, he still has that Saiyan pride.
And he had that chip on his shoulder about fighting Goku as well.
Yeah, he would not be controlled by Babidi in one of those scenes. But when he finally battles Majin Buu, goes to sacrifice himself, like, Trunks and Goten want to stay, but he, like, KOs Trunks and sends him off with Piccolo. Even goes up to Piccolo and is like, do you think, after everything I've done, that I'm going to end up, like, in... their version of heaven, even though they don't say heaven.
Yeah, they don't say heaven in the show, yeah.
Or even in, like, the animation, Hiffle, Home for Infinite Losers.
Hiffle, yes, when it came to the West, they changed hell. That you can go to hell in the show, but that was too heavy for Western audiences, so they changed hell to the Home for Infinite Losers.
Yeah. bit silly, but it kind of makes me laugh at the same time.
It didn't. I didn't have a problem with it when I first watched it.
Yeah. But yeah, then he's talking to Piccolo, and Piccolo's like, after everything you've done, after all the people you've killed, I don't think you're going to. But he still goes out there to save his family. I feel like that's just a big, nice moment. And that's why I like that moment so much. Plus, Majin Vegeta is a boss. The way he beats the fuck out of Goku. Can I say fuck?
You can say whatever you want, man.
Cool. Now I'm just gonna censor myself now.
Just there are some things you shouldn't say, but you should use your discretion.
Yeah, but all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's a good moment. Good end of the arc, and I'm a massive Vegeta fanboy, so I'm probably gonna have a little bit of bias.
Vegeta's most emotional moment, aside from the first time he died earlier in the Frieza saga. Where he breaks down in front of Goku and.
Yeah. I think he has 3 big emotional moments. He's got when he sacrifices himself, when he dies on Namek, and when he sees future Trunks get killed by Cell. Well, not killed, but almost dies.
Blasted through the chest.
Yeah, and so he has that big rage moment with ends up helping Gohan at the end.
Yeah, that was sick. I forgot about that moment. Yeah.
So it's definitely a big emotional character. So it's good to see he's finally given this big selfish character that's been built through all these years is finally stopped being selfish and is putting people above himself for once. So that's what my top 5 moment.
That's your top 5th moment,
that's
right?
Top 5th.
My top 5th moment is in the Namek saga. It would, to narrow it down, Piccolo versus Frieza. But I actually really like the lead up because Piccolo's such a boss. And when they wish him back to life, and then they wish him to Namek so he can help fight Frieza. But then when he fuses with Nail, who's another Namekian, and he just has a massive power boost. And then he just goes in there and, he just goes toe-to-toe with Frieza. I just think it's really cool about a show that always relies on the Saiyans, this alien race that... they're the best fighters and they're the strongest, so they're the ones who always have to do the fighting. I always liked earlier in the seasons and stuff where you actually saw other characters get a chance to fight and are actually, at that point in time, the strongest in the series. Technically or whatever. And again, later on, another moment when Tien takes on semi-imperfect Cell, Cell in his second form, and he's just nailing it with tri-beams and shit. That bit's fucking sick!
It's good to see, because...
I like when Tien goes to do the tri-beam as well, and magnifies in his hand. It's it's like a camera shutter, and magnifies the image. It's stupid, but it's awesome. I love it.
It's good to see Piccolo finally getting a big sort of moment to shine as well, because if you look later on in the series, there's very few moments where Piccolo kind of shows how much of a badass he is.
Yeah.
Especially if you grew up watching Dragon Ball and stuff, Piccolo is basically the end boss of Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's how it ends, pretty much. So
and this is his first real moment in the series where he's more of a, aside from his sacrifice, this is his real first moment as a hero character, essentially, as a good guy, essentially.
Yeah, because the other times, I think he fights Raditz as well. Obviously, he fights Snapper, but both those times, he gets a bit whooped. Yeah. But this time on Namek, he's got powered up with Nail as well, and he lays down the smacker.
And he doesn't have to take his cloak or his turban off.
No, which is weighted, which,
Yeah, which is sick. Yeah. And then Frieza transforms, and you get that whole episode of him just doing the pew-pews and zapping him. It's fucked up.
Yeah. But for that moment, definitely Piccolo was a boss.
Yeah, that's cool. And when he floats up and he's got the 2 rings of rocks floating around him. Very sick. Number 4, what's your number 4, Jake Baylis?
Alright, first of all, I'm going to say I'm not a massive Vegeta mark, so it's not all going to be Vegeta stuff. But Vegeta, when he returns and turns Super Saiyan and destroys Android 19, I think is a wicked moment, because we just saw Goku, who just been fighting this android, and we've been told for the last 2 years of that these androids going to appear, Goku's going to die, and all the android and he's going to get
sick. He's going to get the heart virus.
Yeah, and all the DBZ heroes, they're all going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And so once Goku goes down, you just oh no, it's finally happening. But then Vegeta comes in out of nowhere, cocky as hell, and just destroys, takes him to pieces after he's had a pretty hard fight with Goku. He's given Goku struggle, but then you go, Vegeta absolutely annihilates him, which kind of makes, like, for the first time, Vegeta stronger than Goku in the series.
Yeah.
Which I think, big, massive moment. Look cool. And he's got a great line where he goes, "Do you feel fear, android?" And then Android 19 runs away.
It's not the line, Jake.
What? It's not the
It's
line?
not the actual line.
What's the line then?
He's like, let me ask you, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Yeah, it's
And then he
close
turns into a Super Saiyan. Which is
Do I
sick.
look like a quotations book to you?
Yeah. It's actually really funny you say that, Jake, because that was my number 4 moment as well.
Really?
Twinsies.
Ah, God, maybe we could be friends.
Why can't we be friends? This is going to be the friendship making episode.
Yeah, we'll become friends halfway through, and then we get to number 1, and then we'll hate each other.
And then we'll both stand around, power up at the end.
Yeah, it's going to be really awkward on the ride home as we're just shouting for 10 minutes. Ah! Ah!
Yeah, I just really like that moment because it just shows actually when he flashes back to when he was on I think it was the planet or whatever, and he's jumping all over the meteors and shit. And he just gets buried under these rocks, and he just has this big breakdown moment, and that's what, his breakthrough to become a Super Saiyan.
Dig it.
Love it.
Number 3.
And he rips his hands off as well. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, and there's actually like blood and oil as well, because it's kind of red but kind of brown as well. Kind of like, oh, they can get away with it being a robot. Cause
Yeah.
Can't for kids sense of
Well,
this.
technically, weren't all the androids? They were all humans first, and then they were modified into androids. Or would they be cyborgs?
I think 17 and 18 were previously human, but I think obviously.
Well, Dr. Gero
is
was human
as well. But I think 19
was just pure android.
Yeah, I think it was pure
Yeah.
android.
Because Krillin does talk about, they have the line later in the series about, how could she have a baby? She's an android. He was like, she was a human first.
Yeah, God, how could you?
Her lady bits still work.
Yeah, it's 2018. Don't just judge, Krillin.
Yeah.
God.
I actually heard a funny thing today, and it makes total sense when you hear it. Like, they focus on the show, like, you got all these aliens and they're from different planets, and they're the strongest ones of the Z fighters. But then they're like, who's actually the strongest human? And it turns out that Krillin is actually the strongest human. So he's Earth's greatest hero, technically.
That's his. I always wanted Tien to be the strongest. I thought, like...
Tien's actually really cool, but
I
I
like
think
his
I think
design.
Chaozu is baggage.
Yeah, he's bringing him down. He's like a small child. Like, why... Has that third eye ever been, like, discussed? Have I just missed something?
I don't know. I don't know why no one ever tried to take the eye out.
Yeah, just poke him. Just poke him in the eye.
Throw dirt in his eye.
Anything. He's like, oh, I'm slightly blinded. It's gonna... I've only got 2 eyes now.
What's your number 3 moment, Jake?
My number 3 is the introduction of Cell.
Ooh.
Because I thought Cell was a badass character, and especially coming from, like, the androids were kind of, like, scary, but they're also sort of, yeah, I can see how they weren't intimidating. Frieza, very theatrical, very, avant-garde, some would say.
Yeah.
Buddies his toast on both sides. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I saw it on a comedy special once, made me laugh. But with the introduction of Cell, basically an empty town with all their clothes just gone. And you think, did everyone just go completely nudist? Oh, no. There was a creature that's been coming up and sucking the life out of all these people, gaining their strength, and you don't know who it is. And they build it up so well, because it's something that has never really been in Dragon Ball, and that's sort of like a horror character, which is kind of what Cell was like.
Because you see Cell the first time, and he's terrifying. Because they build it up really well. They're like, we found the time machine, the second time machine. Trunks jumps in there, and he checks out the bloody logistics and that of it, and find out it's the same time machine as his. It's the exact same. And then they find like the beetle shell or whatever, and he's like shed that skin and left that husk behind, and he's just like, WTF, bro, what the fuck's going on here in this Dragon Ball world? And then like this, I think that's actually probably my favorite character design in all of Dragon Ball Z, probably Imperfect Cell.
Yeah, definitely, because there's nothing really like it in Dragon Ball Z, or anything other like that. He's such a very like insectoidian sort of design. It's so different from everything else, especially when like as Cell got on, like in his stages, he became more human-like.
Yeah.
Which
And
like,
more pompous.
Yes, more British.
Yes. Oh,
As well.
Goku!
Oh, I'm perfect, Cell. How dare you hit my perfect jawline?
Deal with my perfection.
But like imperfect Cell, he's this like sort of like scary. He's got the tail, his mouth. He's built scary.
He's like a horror movie monster.
Yeah, I don't see the problem with it. Like his first design, sure, it does look a little bit.
Yeah, I love
weak
it.
and
Yeah,
stuff,
I think it's
but
fantastic.
when it comes to intimidation wise, definitely one of the top designs Toriyama's probably ever done.
And that scene with Piccolo where Piccolo turns up to fight him and then he just lays him down with the Kamehameha. That's sick.
You ever watched Dragon Ball Abridged?
Some of it, yeah, here and there. Not really. My brother would tend to send me episodes every now and then, and I'd watch a bit, and I'm like, I just don't have time for that.
Well, I'll just suggest checking out that episode with the introduction of Cell. Has a cool little moment where Piccolo's walking through the town, and then Cell finally makes his appearance. Like you just see his legs, and then all of a sudden you just hear, "Hello, Piccolo," and it just sends shivers. And it's the same. I like that sort of like feeling. It's finally, that horror sense that Dragon Ball didn't exactly like need, but was definitely the added bonus to the show.
And the other terrifying moment is when he absorbs the androids. It looks very grotesque, and he's just like, ah!
When he first sucks all the life and like stuff out of Piccolo's arm, that's disgusting.
Oh, that's messed up.
And it's just shriveled there and looking like it's about to die.
Off.
Yeah, goddamn.
Or when he absorbs that last human, like the human's trying to crawl away, and he stabs his tail in the back, and he just sucks the juice out of him. It's messed up. Very messed up.
Yeah, so that's my number 3, introduction of Cell.
That's a good moment.
Thank you.
My number 3 moment is the instant transmission Kamehameha in the Cell games. I've watched a couple of versions. I've watched the Japanese version. I've watched the first Western release version. I've watched the Kai version. It's that first Western release, just Goku flies up out of this blast and out of this smoke, and I just remember all the lines. Kron's like, "Hey, what's he doing?" And then he's like, "Car," and the music kicks in. He's like, "Kame!" And then Goku's just like, Piccolo's there, and he's like, "Everyone get down, take cover, get moving. Goku's releasing the Kamehameha." And then he's just like, he's powering up. He's just like, "Fuck, Goku's gonna blow up the planet. He doesn't care." And then he does instant transmission, blasts himself in front of Cell, and then just blows off the top half of him. And just the way Sean fucking delivers that last ha, he's like, "Oh, fucking," he really pushes it out. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely you could end on that and be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's such a cool sort of moment. The Kamehameha inspired so many people just to shout loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I still do it now.
Did you know the Kamehameha could actually be used out of their feet as well?
I think maybe in the early, I think I might have seen in
Toriyama actually did that. It was in the manga, and they did it once. Goku did it once in the World Tournament against King Piccolo.
Yeah.
And characters can actually do that, but I think Toriyama just forgot about it because he was a serial forgetter about everything. Like with Launch. Launch. Launch was a character who was in Dragon Ball, and she was in the first few parts of Dragon Ball Z, but then she wasn't in anymore because he just forgot about her.
Yeah, every time she sneezed, her personality changed. Her hair color would change as well.
Yeah, that's right.
She'd be like blonde hair and be like really aggressive, and then she'd sneeze and be blue hair, and she'd be like calm.
Really sweet.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Launch," but unfortunately, she fell to the side as most female characters in Toriyama's shows do. Because he's admitted himself he can't write for women.
Yeah. And he hates Vegeta as well.
Yeah, which sucks because he's the best.
Yeah, but because of the popularity of him, he decided in the future he was going to integrate Vegeta more and make him a more interesting character, which is, I haven't seen Super, but I imagine that's what he would have tried to do in Super.
Yeah, definitely has still the Goku show.
Yeah.
as you would expect, but definitely Vegeta has a lot of moments in Super.
It's the Goku show.
Gohan as well is finally back to form. Finally, after being
Gohan
a massive
sucked
nerd.
so much.
Yes, he was like the coolest.
Just
character.
like Gohan, tap into all that sweet Cell Games power and defeat these guys. Oh, I can't do it anymore. I've forgotten how to fly. I've forgotten to, like, what the fuck?
I like books now.
Like in Resurrection F, I'm just like, Gohan, you could just defeat them all by yourself.
Yeah, you're way powerful, way more powerful than Frieza. Just go on. He's just like,
I've forgotten how. It's been so long, I can't power up.
Ridiculous.
Bullshit.
All right. Should I go on to number 2?
Yes, please. Number 2.
Number 2s. All right. So this one, as I said, like, wasn't a big moment for me at the time, but going back to it, I'm gonna like speak for like the fandom sort of as well for this. Goku has a brother and is an alien.
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge moment, especially if you've been watching all up from Dragon Ball. It's just been this kid who just happens to have a tail, which isn't too weird because we live in a world with a blue dog as the president of the world, and
Talking pigs.
Yeah, there's dinosaurs.
Flying talking cats.
They can transform. So, a guy with a tail ain't too weird. But then you, like, finish off Dragon Ball, go to Dragon Ball Z, find out, no, wait, he's an alien, he has a brother, the entire universe is out there, there's a big galactic leader, your planet got destroyed. All this information in, like, a small amount of time.
We sent you here and you were super evil, but then you fell and hit your head, and now you're a real nice Goku.
Yeah. And just like, what the hell is going on?
You've just ruined my world.
Yeah, as a massive... So,
any Dragon Ball fan may have said.
Yeah, this could be one of those things that could have, like, immediately, like, ended the show. Like, imagine if you just, like, took a main character of, like... what's a show that you love?
I can't think of anything. The Cosby Show.
Just imagine if we took Bill Cosby...
Let's say Married with Children...
Okay, yeah, that's like
Al Bundy.
Yeah, it's just like if you took like growing up like Al Bundy, and all of a sudden we just found out that Al, all of a sudden he's been rich this entire time, and all of a sudden he's a genius, and you go, what? But that's not what's going. But like it would confuse you. But
that was actually perfect for the Cosby Show because it actually really happened.
Yeah, we're gonna get sued. But yeah, I think that's like just a massive moment for the franchise because it's basically goes, all right, we're taking it in a completely different direction. We're going to go into space, and well, the fans accepted and went, all right, Toriyama, let's see what you got for us.
Yeah, and you can change your hair color too.
Yeah. Wink.
Wink, wink.
So that's number 2.
My number 2 moment is it's in the Cell Saga, but it would be. I really liked the dynamic between Vegeta and Future Trunks. I just found it very interesting. Like, what would it be like if your son from the future, your older son from the future, just rocks up and you're like, it's like, hey, Dad, I haven't seen you since I was a kid because you're dead in my timeline. But yeah, I really like that aspect. But my number 2 moment is the Super Trunks, Super Vegeta. So Trunks going, well, not Super Trunks because it's Vegeta first. Vegeta becomes Super Vegeta and he fights Cell version 2, so semi-perfect or whatever, semi-imperfect or whatever you want to call him, his official term. And then he allows him to become perfect because he wants more of a challenge. And he tries to fight him, becomes Super Vegeta, and the final Flash scene, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then Krillin there trying to coax Trunks into jumping in and helping him. And he's like, I can't. I've become more powerful than my dad, and I can't do it in front of him because it'll ruin his pride. Like, you know how proud he is. Mm-hmm. He won't be able to take it. I have to wait for him to lose consciousness first. And just that build-up, like when you were watching it. And then Vegeta eventually gets knocked out, and then Super Trunks comes in, and he powers up, and he burns off his hairband, and his hair pops out like he's had 20 cans of mousse in it or something like that. He gets jacked. He gets fucking jacked. And then he fights Cell and he can't get it done because he's too bulky and slow. Yeah. And then later on you find out that Vegeta's like, yeah, I could have done that too, but I realized because I'm a smart fighter and if I did that, I'd be too slow. There'd be limitations to that form. Yeah,
when you think about it, like, first of all, Trunks' backstory and stuff, was that a strict movie or was that like part of the... Can you remember if it was part of the series with...
There were a couple of bits hinted at. There were a few things he told in the series. I don't know if he actually brings up that he was trained by Gohan. I don't think so. When he comes back and he talks to Goku, he's just like, I'm from the future. All of you died. These androids turned up. I've come back to tell you. So there was never really anything told about that, but you see Vegeta when he's there, and he does tell Goku that Vegeta is my dad, and then Piccolo's the one who hears it all with his super Namek ears, and then he's like, yeah, I think you should tell everyone, Goku. But then later on in the History of Trunks, where they go back and they show him as a kid, and Gohan trains him, Gohan loses an arm.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that was canon or not, because like thinking about it, every single character pretty much in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all that have been like training since they were kids. And Trunks, though strong, was like the only one. He had maybe like 2-3 years of training, which is what I kind of like when they did that, when they make Trunks really big. But obviously Vegeta's like, well, I could have done that as well, but because he's got all this experience, and all the other characters could get just as that, but they, Trunks is a bit green, as they would say. A bit of a rookie, which is a cool thing that I didn't expect for them to do when they showed, which is nice.
Yeah, still a bit wet behind the ears.
Yeah. Tell you what, that moment if it is canon, with Gohan and Trunks, when Trunks finds older Gohan who's been training him, just been defeated by the androids. There's the big violin, there's the rain. Oh, that will get you teary. It's a big moment.
And let's talk about another cool moment when Trunks turns up and he takes out Frieza and King Cold.
That's actually one of my honorable mentions.
Wow.
Yes, I've got a few. If you've
that's cool. I've done mine. Number 2, Jake Baylis, give me your top favorite Dragon Ball Z moment of all time.
I'm gonna have to be that guy, and let's be honest, it's inspired so many people, so it just has to be the number one moment. Goku turning Super Saiyan. Like,
that's my number one moment too, Jake Baylis.
Yes, you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan if you haven't tried to turn Super Saiyan at one point. It's one of the biggest moments. It's bigger than... It's over 9,000. It is the core of the series. It inspires many transformations, sometimes over transformations in certain
it's the linchpin of the series.
Yeah. It's basically what blew the series up. It was just like, what? Super Saiyan changed the entire thing. I just love the design, blonde hair, that blue eyes, which makes me
stands up on end.
It makes me sound a little bit bad, but
I actually read up about it once, and I'm just like, why does that happen? Like, and the explanation I found on the internet, whether this is true or not, it's just that they generate so much power, their hair stands up on end, and their hair and eyes change color because they just generate so much power. But it's not just that moment, Goku turning Super Saiyan. My number one moment is pretty much Goku versus Frieza, the entire fight from beginning to end, but the key moment is when he turns Super Saiyan. Because like I said before, going back in the day, it was just another TV show I was watching, just happened to be a cartoon, happened to be an anime, and I'm just learning about this show as we're going along, and Vegeta's talking to like, I'm going to become a Super Saiyan, I'm going to become a Super Saiyan. He fights Doria, kills him straight away, fights Zarbon, beats him the first time. Zarbon comes back, turns into his beast form, and whoops Vegeta. Vegeta comes back even stronger, destroys him. Vegeta fights the Ginyu Force. He gradually just becomes more powerful and powerful. And then he says to Krillin, he's like, you're going to have to attack me and beat me within an inch of my life, because every time a Saiyan fights, they become stronger. Or if they become injured or close to death, like once they heal, they get a massive boost in power, because that's just how this alien race
call
works.
Them hacks.
But, Krillin blasts a hole through Vegeta, and I think he has a sensu bean or whatever.
If I remember correctly, Dende, the old Namekian,
Dende comes to heal him.
He doesn't want to because...
he refuses.
Because Vegeta, killed...
a lot of Nameks.
Yeah, a lot of Namekians
looking for the Dragon Balls. Yeah.
Well, that came back to haunt him, but he healed him in the end. He got the power boost, but...
And then he's claiming, he's like, now I'm a Super Saiyan. And like, we didn't know what this was. We just got this, one of these main characters, he's boasting that he's a Super Saiyan now, he's so powerful. And then eventually, Krillin dies, like Goku and Frieza are having this massive fight, this fight of the ages. And then Krillin is killed, and that's the catalyst, the anger that just makes him snap. and he transforms into a Super Saiyan. And it's just so awesome. And then Goku's just standing there so calm, and he's just like, you've never seen anything like this. And he turns, Gohan's just as shocked as we are. And then he turns to Gohan and he's trying to give him instructions, and then he just yells at him, "This is the last time I'm going to tell you."
I think it's a cool thing as well because, especially if you're a big fan of Dragon Ball, you've seen Krillin die, and you saw Goku's reaction to that back in the day. And also, if you know the rules of Dragon Ball, especially at that time, you couldn't come back if you died a second time.
Yes.
So, like,
if you died once, you could be wished back with the Dragon Balls. There are 7 Dragon Balls. You collect them all together, and you summon the Eternal Dragon, and you can make 3 wishes? It was 1 wish with the Earth Dragon Balls.
Yes, while Kami was the ruler of Earth, and then Dende came in and was like, no, let's do 3.
Yeah, because, the Namekian Dragon had 3 wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like,
So you could wish them back to life, but you could only wish them back within a year or whatever. If it was is that right? Am I remembering that right? If it was after a year, if it had been more than a year, you couldn't wish them back or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think something along those lines, because the body wasn't. Yeah, so, some weird logic along those lines.
Yeah,
but it was a cool callback to see this massive trigger, and that being the catalyst for Goku's change, because we've he's Goku's oldest friend, which is
his best friend. Yeah, since Dragon Ball, since they were kids.
I'm pretty sure he likes him more than his son. He's just like,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because as we've made up, Goku's a terrible father.
Yeah, he's not the best.
No.
What's your favorite Super Saiyan form? You can say Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Can I say Super Saiyan 4?
Yeah, you can say Super Saiyan 4.
See, I like Super Saiyan 4. I think it's a lot more animalistic. It's a throwback to
very, very bushy red.
Yeah,
hair.
very. I don't like the eyeliner. Not a big fan of the.
Yeah, the eyeliner's kind of cool. It looks better on Vegeta than it does on Goku.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Ultra Instinct as well. I'm not a big fan of Super Saiyan God. I don't think the blue is threatening. Yeah. Blue is too calming for me.
It is very calming. Yes. Yeah. Very calming indeed.
What about you? Do you like 3? Are you a fan of the long hair?
No. Or do you like me? I'm Super Saiyan 2 all the way. It's just that sharper pointed hair and that lightning that's around you.
Yeah, I get
Can't
that.
beat it.
Yeah, I get that.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
The moment that did tip me over the edge, though, like I've said, I haven't seen Dragon Ball Super. I've seen clips on the internet. I've watched the first couple of episodes. That's it. But Goku doing Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken.
Yes, blue and red. Awesome. Great combination.
That's not the only blue. I blue as well. It was amazing.
See, once you see you've obviously seen Ultra Instinct then, maybe?
I've seen Ultra Instinct. I still don't know all about it. I've only seen a couple of... I think I saw Ultra Instinct where does he go Ultra Instinct when he fights Hit?
No.
It's the other guy, the guy in the red and black Spanget.
Yeah, Jiren. The quote-unquote, Superman of the DBZ world, pretty much.
Wow. What universe is he from?
He's from Universe...
6? No, that's their universe, isn't it?
Universe 11.
Man, we're getting deep here.
The universe of Pride, which is, it's basically... The god of destruction, for anyone that cares, is a clown, which is kind of like the Joker, and he has an angel, which is kind of looks like Harley Quinn, even has the ponytails.
Yeah, no shit.
So it's very much like a DC universe as well. He does a lot of tributes in Super, especially in the very last arc to different sort of styles of anime.
Yeah.
There's a universe, I believe, Universe 4. It's about Universe of Love, and they're a tribute to sort of the Super Girls, sort of Sailor Moon type of
magical girls.
Yeah, that's it. Magical girls. There's also one that's mostly robots, and there's sort of a Transformers sort of universe as well.
No shit.
So he does a nice little collab, but I tell you what,
that's cool.
Super is a bit of a slog to get through because one, you've got to go through the first 2 movies, which you've probably already seen.
Yeah, I have seen both of those films. Yeah.
So Battle of Gods, Resurrection of F, and they're worse design wise because they were off doing other projects at the time. So
I saw the animation
episode 3.
The animation on some of those episodes have god awful.
They are it gets better, but episode 3, in particular, which I believe is a fight between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Beerus.
Yeah, I've seen that on King Kai's planet.
Yeah, that is awfully drawn.
And then everyone complained about it when it went, and Funimation did another pass over it. Is that correct?
I hope so.
Yeah, they did another pass for the English dub release, because I've seen the side by side of it. Yeah, it's awful. I heard that apparently they were so under the pump that they would have a week to churn out an episode, do the animation on an episode.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's insane.
Yeah, God, especially for like something of that quality and with such a reputation as Dragon Ball. Like, you can't really be putting out. I don't understand why they'd be wanting to put out in such a short time frame. I know they've got busy stuff, but space it out.
Toriyama's just making it up as he goes.
Yeah, he was.
Literally.
Well, especially when it comes at the last series of, like the last few episodes of Super, you can tell it was very rushed. A lot of storylines or like characters were missed, like had missed opportunities. Because like, if you're going to bring in 10 different universes, which is what happens sort of like, there's a big universal arc tournament where everyone fights each other over a span of 46 minutes, which, anime time could go on for years if anyone knows the Namek 5 minutes.
Yeah, all the filler, because the manga wasn't up to date, so they just put in all these filler episodes of them still fighting. I think the planet's going to blow up in 5 minutes, and it drags on for 15 episodes.
It's weird Frieza doesn't have a watch or anything. He's just like, he still has general information of time. But there were a lot of definitely missed opportunities in Super for characters. Felt rushed, especially like the ending as well. Cool, really well done, but yeah, Super, if you're going to give it a go, maybe skip the first 40 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Just watch those 2 films.
Yeah,
and then, jump in.
You're basically caught up.
Yeah. You miss out on all that crap filler and that as well.
Also, speaking of, we got some a little bit of sad news as I quickly look at my phone for this information. The Japanese voice actor of Hercule Satan passed away a couple of days ago.
Mr. Satan.
Unsho Ishizuka is the my bad pronunciation of that name.
How long did he play Mr. Satan for?
He was the second Mr. Satan. He came back for, I'm guessing, Kai and Super as well.
Okay.
Because the first actor passed away as well.
Oh, shit.
Yes. He also did the voice for those, the Professor Oak in the Japanese version, and also Kizaru in One Piece. So,
Professor Oak in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Japanese version.
Yeah.
So
I know
a bit of a
about
sad
Pokemon.
news.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that sucks. What were your honorable mentions?
Yes. Honorable mentions. We have Inkpad. Trunks killing Frieza.
Nice.
Honorable mention.
Great moment. Uncut version's better, because you see a bit more blood.
17 versus Piccolo, because I thought that was like an amazing fight.
That was a great fight. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Nappa versus everyone, which basically just... It's a build-up to show how strong Goku is, how Nappa just destroys through everybody, and especially when you know these two have been doing like...
And he's the weaker of the two.
Yeah. So I think that's just a cool moment to go, how badass is Vegeta? It's over 9,000, obviously. Great meme.
I like the original, with the original voice actor and that. Didn't I don't know the guy's name who did the English voice dub. He was the first Vegeta. Didn't he come back in Super and he played like an alternate dimension Vegeta or something like that?
I didn't know. Perhaps.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I think my brother told me that, and he sent me the clip, and I watched it. Yeah, it's very cool. So you got Chris Sabat there as Vegeta, and then you got like this alternate dimension version of Vegeta, but it's the original English voice actor. The original. It's over 9,000.
Yeah. Cool. I have to definitely check that out. We also have Vegito, the first emerging of Vegito.
Oh yeah, with the Potara earrings. Yeah, that's very cool.
The father-son Kamehameha.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And finally, Goku's last moments on Namek, when he's searching around for the
he's trying to get the ship and to go. Escape. Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, because like obviously he's already died before, and then going back to you can't wish him back a second time, sort of thing. That we're trying to hope for like how is Goku going to escape? He's only got a minute. The planet's going to explode.
And then they wait the 12 months and they go to wish him back and they're like, we can't wish him back because he's already alive.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to come home. He doesn't
Yeah,
want to see his kid.
He's training still.
If you've got food, yes. If you've got a kid, no.
I haven't got honourable mentions, but I've written down, I've done my bit of research and I've gone through and I've picked out some of the darkest moments from Dragon Ball Z. One we've already talked about was Cell, where he absorbed all the people in Ginger Town. Now, apparently, while he was there, he absorbed 15,000 people.
Ooh.
So pretty much every person he absorbs their power, and his power gradually increases the more people he absorbs. So that's one. The second moment was Frieza on Namek, when he's after the Dragon Balls, and he goes to the Namekian elders there, and he's like, kill me if you want, just do it. And he goes to shoot him, but it goes over his shoulder, and he kills one of the kids, Cargo, I think the kid's name is.
Yeah.
And Dende is the other Namekian child. So just killing kids in the show, that's fine.
Yeah.
But they're aliens, they've got antennae,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's green,
count.
it's fine.
It's count.
Four kids doesn't care.
There's no blood. What else have we
purple,
got?
It's fine.
Spopovich versus Videl.
Oh, that was hardcore.
That was pretty
he
tough.
gets his neck snapped backwards.
Like, and he's just like holding her by the head and kneeing her in the face. And the voice acting in that from Videl, it's hard to listen to.
You never really seen like a female like character like that get like into a fight such as that. Like 18, sure, she fought as well, but there wasn't like a beat down.
Yeah, she can hold her own. So.
Yeah, like she beat the shit out of
She's a
Vegeta.
tough character, yeah.
And then
broke his arm. That was a great scene too.
Yeah. Then she gets absorbed by Cell, so you don't really see too much. But yeah, like Videl's beating against Popovich is uncomfortable.
And then he's
rewatch.
going to crush her head, and she's on the ground, he's kicking her and all that stuff. It's pretty hard to watch, really.
Yeah, especially
along with that voice acting in that as well. It's hard to stomach that stuff.
Especially when there's like Gohan on the other side just being like, oh, what is going on? And if they're worried, like you as an audience member are worried, like, oh god, if they care, then
Gohan's just like, I'm not taking much more of this shit.
Yeah.
And the last moment I've got is Boo's puppy, which is shot.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, the hunter, he just happens to have an Australian accent, you bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Making us look bad.
Yeah, like Boo's just playing with his new puppy and he's throwing the ball and this guy just shoots the puppy.
Mm.
And Boo brings the puppy back to... The puppy's technically not dead because Mr. Satan picks it up and it's still like kicking its leg.
Nothing
like,
dies.
Hey Boo, it's still alive! You come over! And then he comes over and he heals the puppy and then he gets real angry and deals with the hunters.
It's a weird thing that Mr. Satan basically saved the universe.
He did. Like, he was like the champion of Earth. He's the greatest martial artist
Hail
on
Satan.
the planet.
Hail Satan.
Yeah, Hail Satan, definitely.
Yeah.
They changed his name to Hercule in the what is it? The editors.
If they can't have Hell and they change it to Hiffle, like obviously.
Yeah, you can't have Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
So they changed his name to Hercule, but then in the to justify that, they call him Hercule Satan. Yeah. So those are my intense moments in that. Let's talk about the movies real quick. What's your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie?
The legendary Super Saiyan Broly.
That's actually a pretty cool movie, yeah.
Yeah. Like the other ones are cool.
Great animation in that movie too.
Yeah,
the high-end animation studio did that.
But between that and also, because like I think Broly as a character is cool, even though he is a literal crying baby and is angered by like Kakarot, like the sound of his name, and just all because he cried a little bit when he was young. That's annoying. But when it comes to fight scenes, like design, animation, the world's strongest is probably definitely up there.
I love the world's strongest.
Master Roshi's fight scene against those three henchmen. The big yellow guy, the one that shoots ice, the other one that shoots lightning.
Yeah.
That's really well done. Then Goku comes in. At one point, I'm pretty sure Gohan pees on Krillin, or that might be Tree of Might. It's all blended.
I think that might be Tree of Might, but I do like Tree of Might because those first couple of movies are real dark. And if anybody's listened to me on the show before, you know I like dark stuff. I like bleak, dark films, bleak endings and that. And I really liked Turles. Is this guy who looks exactly like Goku, but he's not related to him in any way, shape, or form.
Just evil.
Yeah, he's just an evil version of Goku, and he's got 6 Saiyan armor. It's grey. It's really cool. I have a soft spot for the return of Cooler.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Return of Cooler when they go on the second Namek, Goku and Vegeta versus Cooler, Mecha Cooler, which is pretty cool. Ha 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 ha! Puns.
Cooler
Puns.
kicks Vegeta in the dick in that movie.
This gives you chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. But
And
I like that.
What's the last movie with Gogeta?
Fusion Reborn.
Fusion Reborn, that's it.
Yeah, with Janemba. That big fat
Janemba.
Oh, yeah. Janemba, I wish they could have done more with Janemba. Like, I wish he could actually talk so you could, like, engage more and learn of the character. Because it's an interesting character, but it was just a lot of violence. And...
I like the design of the world and that at the end, like all the red and everything, and like they look like floating blood cells and stuff, and floating colored orbs and shit and that, and just Gogeta, beg your pardon, where he does his, what is it? His sparkle something. I can't remember what the move's called. It's
Sparkle
been so
cannon, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I think Gogeta is just so much cooler than Vegito.
Oh no, Vegito! It starts with Vegeta, so it makes it cooler.
Yeah, but Gogeta's way better. He's got the vest.
Yeah, but
He's got the fusion vest, and he's cool, and he's calm, and he's collected.
Does it have to do a dance for that though? Or is that the other one?
Yeah, that's the fusion dance. Yeah,
yeah. No one cares about the dance.
Gogeta's more Goku, whereas Vegeta's more Vegeta.
Yeah, who wants to be dumb when you
Vegito,
can be prideful?
Vegeta. Yeah, that's similar names. Yeah.
Speaking of designs, Super Android 13 back in the movie.
I loved playing as him in Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
God, the games were fun.
Yeah, the games are fun. Fighters is really good too.
I haven't played Fighters.
You should get it, man. You'd love it.
Yeah, I've got a PS4, but
there's a new Android in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Android 21, female version.
Well, everything has a female in it now. It's it's
all
accepting.
About the ladies.
It's accepting. It's evolution.
And she's got a really cool voice in that as well. I like the way she talks.
We are doing a whole pay-per-view for women.
Come on, don't be like that. We've talked about this before.
I know. I'm just making sure people should check out the other Bearded Geek podcast that I was on.
Our wrestling episode. Jake's been on 3 episodes. Let's talk about him. Jake was on our retro gaming episode and our wrestling special we did a few weeks ago.
Brother.
What else Dragon Ball Z can we talk about? We've talked about Super. We've got...
Isn't there a new movie coming out?
There is, but it's actually a Dragon Ball Super series movie. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Dragon Ball Super, the entire series and that, whatever they end up doing, is set after the Majin Buu saga, but before Oob turns up at the tournament in the last few episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's even a point during like the Super Saga. I think it's roughly it could be just coming out now for the English dub. It's about episode 67 to 70 around that. Where Goku is just flying around looking for strong opponents, participants to join the Universal Fight Tournament. And he goes around and he sees a young Oob. Like, who's just toiling like 2-3 years old, toiling the field sort of thing.
3-year-old in the fields.
Yeah, he's just like...
Get out there with that hoe and dig up those fields.
Go on, boy, you've got martial arts to learn. Go use this hoe.
And he's like, I've sensed that kind of energy before.
Well, basically it's just like, he could be strong, but he's still too young yet. So we're going to have to find someone else. So there's like that introduction, like, wow. In like 4 years, he'll be like able to fight Goku. So they're teasing that slightly, but... Yeah, it's in between.
Isn't he meant to? Aren't him and Vegeta meant to have more kids by that? Because don't their kids fight in that tournament as well? Am I getting that wrong too? Don't they have another kid, which are exactly mini Goku and mini Vegeta?
No, I think.
Or is this a different thing I'm thinking of?
I think you're thinking of the future when like Pan. Has her grandkids and she's all old, and then there's there's like a Goku with a headband, and then a young Vegeta,
that's right, yeah,
and that's the official ending because they're grandkids, and there's a big Hercule and Goku statue in the World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yeah, right. What was that mini Dragon Ball Z movie they did about 8-10 years ago, and it was like it only went for like 60-something odd minutes, but it was like Vegeta's younger brother turned up. Tarbell.
Yes.
What the hell was that movie? I've seen that once.
You see, I've never seen the English version of that. I've only seen bits and pieces of like the Japanese version. All I know is that Vegeta, vegetable, his brother Tarbell, vegetable, because Toriyama is a genius. He comes back to Earth and says like he's like getting attacked, or his wife is like her family is getting attacked, so all these people need to come to Earth, and it's a whole thing that is not canon. But
I was gonna ask, I'm like, is that canon? Obviously not.
No, it's not canon. But it's an interesting like I'm not sure if they've done an English dub of it, but like there's a Japanese version, so check it out. But
yeah, right.
I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. I think I watched it after it came out. I think I saw the Japanese version. I watched the Japanese cut of it, but yeah.
Looks a little bit too silly for my...
yeah, it was pretty
tasting.
ridiculous too, as I recall. It was just a lot of the group just like standing around with their arms crossed. They're all standing there together.
It just makes me like feel like it's like every single bad 70s, 80s like sitcom. Just like, what was it? So like the Brady Bunch. It's just like, oh, we've got another brother. It's like, oh, welcome to the family. You go, oh god, the show's jumped the shark, and that's what that movie is to me. It's Dragon Ball Z jumping the shark, and Vegeta's got a brother.
I was gonna ask you something, and I just forgot it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see up on the shelf there. Do you see that Vegeta action figure up on the shelf just there? Do you see next to Thanos?
Yes.
Just behind him over your shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
That Margin Vegeta action figure?
Indeed.
I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but the first run of that figure, that one up there I have on the shelf, is actually quite rare. Because the first run they did, their hair color, if you notice, is incorrect.
Yeah. His
hair color is his standard black hair. He should technically have his gold Super Saiyan hair. Apparently, the first run they did of that, they painted the hair incorrectly. So the next run they did, and every subsequent run after that, he had the correct golden Super Saiyan hair.
Yeah.
So the first run is actually pretty rare, apparently.
Nice.
That figure. And actually, that was my brother's figure, which I have since inherited.
Is that in quotation marks?
No, it's just, that's fact.
Ah. And he ain't getting it back.
Let me ask you one last Dragon Ball Z question before we wrap it up.
All right.
Who do you think is the most underrated Dragon Ball Z character?
Oh, that's...
Is it Yamcha?
No. God, no. God, in what universe could Yamcha be the most underrated? He's the worst.
Yamcha's kind of...
He's so cocky.
You think Yamcha's going to make a comeback in the Android Saga? You're like, this is Yamcha's time to redeem himself, and then you get that fucked up moment where Android 20 grabs him by the face and just sticks his hand through his chest, and it's poking out the other side.
Yeah.
And it's real fucked up.
You're
like, come on, Yamcha, that was your moment.
I'm going to give you the other side of the Yamcha coin. I'm going to give you Tien.
Tien's actually
the
a
most
boss.
Underrated. Like, he won a world martial arts tournament.
He did.
He beat Roshi. He beat Goku, which everyone seems to forget as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I would actually totally agree with that. It is Tien.
Yeah.
Tien never got as much prop or respect as he should have.
Yeah. He seems to just be like thrown away just to make like how Goku, like if he maybe came in like a season before, he could have like had a fight where he built up like and fought somebody, but as he was brought in, like immediately King Piccolo's next, so you need to make him look good. And how do you make him look good? Well, you have Piccolo beat the last toughest guy, which happens to be Tien.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Tien did have some really cool moments in the entire run of the show, but yeah, I never really felt like he got the props he deserved.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier that moment with Cell when he's just like zoomed in and just firing off all those energy beams,
The tri-beams.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the coolest moments in DBZ.
It is, yeah. And where he fights Nappa, and Nappa just punches his arm off.
I think the cool thing about like the entire Cell saga was so many people, and like including the android, so many people just willing to sacrifice. Like, if I have to die to beat this person, this is what I'm going to do. Like, Piccolo tries to do it, Tien tries to do it. Like Goku does it.
Numerous times.
Yes, numerous times. I think that's what makes it, like, Cell Saga so cool, because it's not, like, everyone's just like, I have to try to do my best, and who cares about dying, because this person needs to be stopped, which adds to the suspense and builds it for the series.
A lot of our stuff have been like fights and that, and we talk a lot about fights because 90% of the show is fighting. That's pretty much what it is.
10% yelling.
Yeah, 10% yelling. And there are just so many other great moments that I just forget, or just these in-between fighting moments that are fantastic. Like, I rewatched a clip today of Gohan and Goku training in the hyperbolic time chamber. And, Gohan training, he's just transformed into a Super Saiyan, he's tired, and Goku's just, like, showing him, and he's like, he's an ascended Super Saiyan, and he's like, oh, you can do it, you can beat Cell, and he's like, I can take it one step further if I wanted to, and he does. And he's just like, you've got the power, you can beat him. And he's just like, I do have the power. He's like, but all these bulky muscles are just going to slow me down. He's like, this isn't what it's going to take to get it done. Mm-hmm. And then they decide, Goku's like, because Goku's actually, we give him crap because he's a terrible parent, yes.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a wishy-washy guy because sometimes he lets bad guys go when he should just blow them up.
Yeah.
But, there's this great moment where he's like, transforming into a Super Saiyan uses a lot of energy. He's like, maybe we have to try being a Super Saiyan so till it feels natural, and then we've got all this reserve power that we can use later on. And great moments like this, like Goku is really a great fighter. He's actually a very intelligent character. And then when they come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, they just act normal and stuff, and everybody's just so shocked that they're Super Saiyans, but they're acting normal, Yeah.
It's a weird sort of analogy, but there's like an old episode of like Seinfeld where George Costanza he stops masturbating and all he starts thinking incredibly like so smart, and Jerry's like, well, like this is your brain, and like has a leaf like from a cabbage. He's like, and this is your brain whenever you're not having sex, and it's like the whole cabbage, and that's pretty much like Goku. Goku like all of his like energy is put towards like martial arts, and so like. When it comes to like teaching and stuff, he's like a master, but yeah, the worst dad, worst father. But when it comes to information,
and can't drive for shit. Because remember that episode where Chi-Chi makes him go to get their license?
Him and Piccolo.
Yeah, that is actually a great episode.
I honestly expected that to be like in your moments as well.
No, it was a really good episode though, because you get like waiting to the Cell games and that, and then you get this scene where when they're not training, Chi-Chi makes them go to get their license, and Piccolo's getting his driver's license. It's just so stupid, but it's so good.
Yeah, like, oh god, we live so far away. Get your license, and he's an alien.
I can fly everywhere.
Yeah,
and if I can't fly, I'll just call my cloud.
Yeah, but why don't you take the cloud, honey? I can't take. Imagine that argument.
I did find out today, this will be the last thing before I wrap it up, the power pole, Goku's power pole, which only really...
What happened to that?
It's relevant in Dragon Ball, but then it's at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and then Gohan gets it for a little bit, doesn't he? I can't recall. But apparently, the longest the power pole can stretch is like, I don't know, what was it? It was like...
As long as my dick!
Jesus, Jake. You always got to go there.
It's
like some 133 odd thousand kilometers or something like that. It's big. It's big. It's long.
That's pretty huge.
Wow.
It's thick. It's veiny.
Pack it away, Jake.
Sorry.
You made me. I just literally just looked at your crotch.
Well,
stop it.
I'm sorry. I'll put pants back on.
Zip. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Hey. Sponsor us. These nuts.
I'm all Dragon Ball Z'd out. What about you?
I'm pretty done.
Yeah.
I'm out. I've got no information in my...
You gotta go home, watch some GT, step into the Grand Tour.
Oh.
Dragon Ball GT! Oh. How bad is it at the beginning of GT where Goku gets turned back into a kid, and then it's Goku and Trunks and Pan. Is it Pan?
Yeah.
And
his granddaughter.
They're traveling the universe and that, and I'm like, this is crap. I don't want to watch this. But then it gets cool again where Baby gets introduced.
I enjoy Super 17. Baby, meh.
Yeah, Super 17's really good. And Vegeta cuts his hair real short and spiky.
He had a mustache.
He did too!
Like this.
Why don't we ever see Super Saiyans with mustaches? That would be so good.
Nappa. Nappa with his... Imagine those handlebars.
But he's not a Super Saiyan.
I know, not yet.
There's actually some
maybe
great...
in Hiffle.
There's some great stuff in Dragon Ball FighterZ and that, where, like in the story mode, a lot of the characters and that come back and Nappa comes back, and then Goku or Vegeta turns into a Super Saiyan in front of him, and he's like, "What? What's happened to you? You're a Super Saiyan!" And then they're like, "There's some actually really good like dialogue and like character interactions and that in that game as well, like characters who never interacted before." I know it's a game and it's not canon or anything, but it's kind of fun to see and to play through as well. Jake Baylis, this was your third trip into the Beard Cave. Have you enjoyed yourself today?
It was definitely a lot of fun. Have we crossed the bridge of friendship yet, or are we still...
I think we're pals, Jake.
I think we're pals.
I thought we were pals, but then you brought it up, or I brought it up, and it just got real weird.
Yeah, but now it turned funny, so it's kind of like a cool gimmick
I
now.
just don't want to put labels on shit, man.
Nah,
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I'm not serious. I like a non-committal friendship.
Yeah. Just don't try and text me.
Just don't send me dick pics anymore.
I'm all about the dick pics.
Yeah, but like they're not yours. They're clearly photoshopped.
Well,
I
got mad skills.
Gotta send a dick with like potential, dick with future.
Jake Baylis, if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
They can find me at Jake Baylis Comedian. They can also find me on the Instagram at the Baylors. If you want
Instagram.
On the Instagrams, you can also find me on my PlayStation 4 account. Jake Baylis is the name, and the gamer tag is Bake. What's my gamer tag? Bake Jake 89
or something like that.
89394. That's it.
Sweet.
So,
and if you want to find us online, you can... no, that's not how I normally say it. It's like, if you want to find the Bearded Geeks online, you can find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/BeardedGeeksPod. If you want to listen to the show, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Twitter. You can download the show on SoundCloud and iTunes. I can't talk. I was going to say SoundCloud. Like Seinfeld.
I think we're both just being like tongue-tied at the moment.
Yeah. If you want to buy a t-shirt or a mug or a hat or some stickers or whatever, you can go to TeePublic and search for the Bearded Geeks. If you want to check us out on Twitter, we're at Bearded Geeks Pod. And if you want to check us out on the Instagram, we're at the Bearded Geeks. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Now, I also have a serious announcement at the moment. I'm going to be taking a break off the show for a month. I've just... I don't feel like I've been putting 100% into the show probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks. This time of year is actually really busy for me. Birthdays and winter and all that sort of stuff. I've had a lot on medical shit and going to the dentist, and my mum was sick and my car broke down, and
I have to bring Jake on.
I have to bring Jake on, and yeah, I'm just not getting enough sleep. And I talked with Pat and Bob about it for the last couple of days, and I'm just going to take a break for a month. Gonna recharge the batteries and stuff. We're already talking about some stuff we're gonna maybe look at doing when we come back. But yeah, just need a bit of a recharge. Just feeling a little bit creatively bankrupt at the moment. But yeah, it's a big commitment doing a weekly show and having a job and a life and, you know, a partner and a car to put petrol in and all that sort of stuff. But
all those things I do not have.
Yeah, and just not getting enough sleep as well. So I'm just going to take a month off. I was going to take a few weeks, but I haven't really had a very long break since we started the show 1.5 years ago. So I'm going to take a month off. We're not going away for good. We're just going to have a little break. And yeah, we'll be back in about a month, and we'll be doing more of this. So yeah, thanks everyone for being understanding, I guess I would say. So yeah, thanks for coming in, Jake.
Anytime. Do you mind if I do a Vince McMahon goodbye as a send-off?
Well, I'm going to wrap it up as well after that. But didn't you already do a Vince McMahon the other week?
Yeah, I know, but I want to do it again. It's going to be my
okay, you can do it, but then I'm going to do it. Tie up, round up, wrap it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye!
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in a month. We'll be back. We got something cool planned. Hopefully it works out. We'll see you all in about a month on the Bearded Geeks podcast. Hey. You meant to do A, Jake.
Hey,
there we go.
Like the Fonz.
We'll make a geek out of you, yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in a month.